Super Bowl 50, our coverage on Radio Row is brought to you by Peerless Boilers. It's Peerless who builds America's best boilers. Getting ready for the big game on Sunday between the Broncos and the Panthers. And now joining us is Temple's very own Tony Bruno in the house. Tony, how are you?
Good. I'm here for National Signing Day, and I'm trying to find some talent for Matt Rule next year so that he can win a national championship finally. We've been waiting for one a long time at Temple, and I believe next year could be the year.
They did very well. I don't know if you saw some of the guys they got.
No, I didn't hear, because people were asking me because I had my Temple football shirt, and I said, I don't know what's going on National Signing Day. I'm in San Francisco.
The quarterback they got, Anthony Russo, LSU was in on him, and then they got a defensive lineman who Alabama's Nick Saban called 15 minutes before he committed to Temple.
Now, that's a great sign because, Temple never would get those players.
Never.
And, Matt Rule's done a great job, and even before him, you go to Al Golden and Temple's now a team that people know about, and they're not going to just say, wait a minute, Alabama, Temple. They're making choices because they know Temple will get national attention now. They're ranked, and so it's good to build a program.
What Super Bowl is this for you, by the way?
29. I haven't been to all of them. And my first Super Bowl was 1978. That was back when the Rams were still in Los Angeles. That was Vince Ferragamo against Terry Bradshaw. And I remember that because I wasn't gambling back then, but I remember the points where it was like 9.5, and the Rams were hanging in, and then boom, late, Terry Bradshaw throws a touchdown, and they cover the number. But it was a fun game. And I haven't been to everyone, of course, the Eagles in 80, and so that's when it started. And then I would miss a game here and come back. But I'm on a string again of consecutive games here.
This is my sixth Super Bowl.
Number
Radio
6?
Row. So
wow.
You may be the king of Radio Row. I may be the prince of Radio Row.
You are the prince, and you can be a part of my what do you have when you have a king and a prince? Monarchy, right? A court?
A court.
A king.
Right, we'll
the king in his court. Wasn't that Eddie Feiner, the softball pitcher, the king in his court? Will he sue us now for using that? I didn't, they call me the king of Radio Row, but I don't have a throne, nor do I have a crown.
Maybe you should walk in like one of these clowns in there that comes in like a Superman suit or something tomorrow. We'll get you a crown, we'll put it on your head, and you'll come like walking in, and everyone will get up and we'll sing to you. Tony Bruno's in the house.
I should have one of those chairs, where they have the leg and people put them on their shoulders, and then you're sitting up on top. Have you seen that? It's like a velvet car. It's like a velvet chair. And then it has 4 arms, so there's 4 people. One has it on each shoulder, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and then I ride in here. That's a great idea.
We'll get you a float. We'll make it like a Mardi Gras kind of thing.
Yes.
We'll have a cigar in one hand and then a beer in another.
Because Mardi Gras is next Tuesday. We could start it early.
No, I thought Mardi Gras is going on right now.
No, I know, but it ends. Fat Tuesday is next Tuesday, that's the big finale. So Mardi Gras is going on right now, so we can actually do our own version of Mardi Gras on Radio Row.
Should every Super Bowl be in New Orleans?
Well, there should be more in New Orleans, I agree. But that one, the fact that San Diego is going to lose the team, to me, San Diego was a great Super Bowl city, too, because everything was walking distance, the gas lamp. And the fact that San Diego's out of the mix is disappointing. And L.A. eventually will get it back again. But L.A., like San Francisco, is spread out all over the place. There's nothing wrong with it, but Miami is spread out. Obviously, San Francisco is, and they haven't had one. And New Orleans is great because you can walk around. You can stumble back to your hotel if you go out and drink, which I don't do anymore, except in San Francisco because I know so many people. I get stumbled into a lot of friends' places all over the Bay Area.
Your buddy Angelo had me on this morning. I had to get up at 4 a.m.
Oh, really?
Time
oh, wow. Even I wouldn't do that for Angelo.
Well, I'm in a different situation than you are. I'm a little bit younger. When Angelo says, come on, I have to go on. So all he talked about when I interned for him was how good In-N-Out Burger was. So I said to myself, I have to go try an In-N-Out Burger before I go on with him. And I'll tell you, it sucked.
It didn't suck, but it's overrated.
So I went on today and I go, it was like Chip Kelly in Philadelphia, a disappointment.
Well, Chip, not the first 2 years. Like your third In-N-Out Burger becomes
it was
disappointment.
Awful.
But your first 2.
He was so mad at me.
I liked them because we lived a block away from one. And now when I lived in L.A. for 11 years, and they're good. They're fresh. It's a limited menu. All the products fresh. But it's not like, oh, my God, this is the greatest hamburger ever.
It's a glorified McDonald's.
No, it's better than McDonald's because everything is fresh. And the people, apparently they have good They take care of their employees, so everybody who works there is happy, unlike McDonald's and some of these other chains where they don't want to be.
And most of the radio stations here, no one's happy here.
And then they have a machine that makes the French fries, so they put the whole potato in and they pull it so they're fresh, they're not frozen in the back. So from that perspective, it's good. But again, is it a good hamburger? Absolutely. I don't get Angelo's obsession with In-N-Out Burger. It's a good burger, but it's not the greatest.
Tony Bruno's here as we're live on Radio Row. Let's get to this game coming up
What
on
game
Sunday.
is that?
The little Super Bowl. You heard it. I think it's Super Bowl 50 maybe or something like that.
It is. I don't know why they didn't go with Super Bowl L because that's the Roman. No, they did it because
they Super Bowl loser.
I know. They didn't want. I was going to come up with a mock shirt and sell them Super Bowl L and then make money because people would want that.
So
right?
here we go. On your crown tomorrow, when you walk in, put a big L on it.
Yes.
It would work.
I think on Monday, whoever loses should get a Super Bowl L
That's a great idea.
ring, a ring like the consolation prize ring, and it has Super Bowl L in the middle.
So with this game coming up on Sunday, you have Peyton going up against Cam.
Yep.
Peyton is a different quarterback now than what he once was. Does he have one more run into him to get this victory?
I don't know. It's I talked to my buddy Bill Romanowski, who played and won 2 Super Bowls there, played for the Eagles too. He's picking Denver. And I said, is it because you're a homer and you got 2 rings there? He said, no. He said, I think they have a chance to win. Do they have a chance to win? Absolutely. Do they have a chance to cover? Yeah, because the line keeps going up because everybody's picking Carolina. So it's easy to pick Carolina because they're the better team. And unlike Brady, which the Denver defense shut him down because he didn't have a running game, I just don't know if Peyton's going to be able to throw the ball down the field. Will he have to? He's going to have to do better than he did against the Patriots because the Patriots couldn't run. And Denver did nothing in the second half. So there's no way if they don't stay on the field they're going to be able to win this game.
This first quarter is also massive too because the way Carolina gets so out in front in that first quarter, they have to go out there because Carolina. There used to be a time we were talking to Ted Johnson earlier. You don't blitz Peyton Manning. Now you blitz Peyton.
Absolutely.
With his arm strength.
And listen, I love Peyton Manning, and if he wins the game, it'll be one of the most unbelievable stories. But I just don't see, as good as the Denver defense is, they're not going to be able to get to Cam Newton as easily as they got to Tom Brady. Now, maybe Cam Newton makes a mistake. Maybe he gets hit, gets knocked out of the game. Maybe there's a fumble. Maybe, a couple of weird plays happen. Maybe Gary Kubiak runs a couple of fake plays and they surprise Carolina. That's the only way I see them winning. Straight up, Denver's offense isn't good enough. They have to run the ball. They can't go 3 and out. They go 3 and out, they're cooked. They've got to be able to maintain drives. Even if you're doing a dink and dunk and people don't like that, they want to see everybody throw the ball downfield. Peyton Manning doesn't have to throw the ball downfield to win. Just get the first downs and keep matriculating the ball up and down the field, boys, as a great former coach once said in the Super Bowl. You remember that, the great NFL films tape?
No.
Hank Stram.
Oh,
Hank Stram, in
okay.
one of the great clips, he says, just keep matriculating the
Little
ball
bit
down the
before
field,
my
boys.
time, Tony.
But it's on NFL films.
Sure.
You don't have to be around then.
With the voice of God, John Facenda.
Exactly, and then there's the clip on the sideline with Hank Stram with his hairpiece saying, just keep matriculating the ball down the field, boys. Don't you watch NFL films and NFL Network?
I do.
Come on, man. You don't have to be old to know this stuff. It's like people saying, well, I don't know that song. It's from the 70s. Beatles are from the 60s, but everybody knows their songs.
It's a good point because my favorite artist is Bruce Springsteen. I'm going to see him in Philly in a few weeks.
No, wait a minute. Are you like one of those guys who's seen him like 15 times and you keep going back?
I've seen him 5 times. My father over there has seen him about 80. He actually once stole Clarence Clemens' tie from a concert.
No, really?
Yeah, true story.
Wow. Now, John Clark at Comcast.
Oh, sure.
He's been in like 100 shows.
Mm-hmm.
That's obsessive to me.
Is he he's a real Springsteen fan then?
Yeah, I mean, he goes like he'll.
Because some people just go and go and go, and they can't name like a lyric to a song.
I've never been to a Springsteen concert, believe it or not.
So we're going
never.
This week. Is that fine?
When is it?
It's on the 14th, 2 Sundays.
On a Sunday?
Yeah.
I'll see if I'm available.
It's on a Friday. It's on the 12th.
I'm not available on Fridays.
Okay. Well, I thought it would have been fun. Tony Bruno's here with us. It would be fitting, though, if Manning does win this game, just because how his boss now, the GM, John Elway, went out.
Yeah, I mean, if Peyton wins, I'd be happy for him. I mean, I just hope it's not ugly. I hope it's not one of those games that gets out of hand. Back in the old days, the Super Bowls used to be blowouts, like 59-3, and we'd see some of those games. We had a stretch in the 80s where the Super Bowls were unwatchable games, and I'm hoping this isn't one of those games. I want to see a close game. I don't want to see a blowout, because then Phil Simms, who's my buddy, is going to have to try to keep the audience entertained in the second half, and then people will rip him because he's not keeping them entertained, and he's just trying to figure out a way to get through the game. So I just hope it's a good game. I mean, I don't really care who wins one way or the other. Although I think Carolina's probably going to win, and that's why all the bets in Vegas are on the money line with Carolina straight up. Because if you're going to bet Carolina straight up. Absolutely. If you're going to take the points, a lot of people say take Denver with the points. It's going to be up to 6. I don't think it gets higher. I don't think it's going to go to 7 because I don't think Vegas wants to get hammered. Because if this is a close game, then
they're going to get hammered.
Vegas will get hammered because there'll be a lot of. That's why the line's hanging in there. That's why it's like 5.5, 6. They don't want it to go to 7.
How ridiculous is this whole stuff with Cam Newton and his race and the whole way it's just been covered this week?
It's ridiculous. I mean, that's what happens because you have all this time, you got all these people here, and I don't think it's really been the story that some people wanted it to be. They tried to make this a story with legs, and it's like, how can you criticize Cam Newton? He gives a football to kids. The first down markers and stuff, I don't get that, but I don't have a problem with it. The guy's a great player, and he enjoys having fun. I have fun. Although I don't jump up and down and well, actually I do every once in a while. If I have a good segment, I'll get up and down and go, first down.
But I don't know if you have the dance moves. That's a thing.
No, I'm too old for the dance moves.
Miss Robin told me your dance moves aren't that great.
No, I don't do that. I can't do it anymore. I can't do the splits. I can't do what Brian Ballinger do a handstand. Did you see that on NFL Network?
Baldy did how did he do a handstand with his fingers?
Well, I think it helps. It's like a tripod, so it actually helps him. That pinky that sticks out is actually an assistant, so I think it's cheating. Most of us can't do a handstand, but he did because he has extra leverage.
You want to talk about another ridiculous story? The whole entire story this week about how it's a distraction for the Broncos with the player getting sent home for the whole prostitution.
It's a practice squad guy.
It's a practice, exactly.
I was down in San Jose too, but I wasn't at a Motel 6 in a prostitution ring. If I'm going to get nailed with prostitutes, it better be at a high-end establishment. At least then there's no shame in it. Like, hey, I'm in the bar, I'm in a really fancy hotel. I didn't know she was a hooker officer. She was a beautiful woman. She knows who I am. She came over. That was it. But a Motel 6? You're going to get caught in a Motel 6?
You're an athlete. Like, go to a Four Seasons or something.
Exactly.
Now, where they're not expecting it.
They didn't even leave the lights on for this guy. That's how bad things were for him. Tom Bodette wanted nothing to do with this.
This is the best guest we've had on Radio Row. I'll tell you the list today. We've had like Mike Haynes on, Jerry Kramer. We've had anyone you could imagine, but Tony Bruno is the best.
That's
guest.
why I'm the king of Radio Row. I haven't, not self-proclaimed.
Everyone listen up. Tony Bruno is the king of Radio
Row.
No,
I'm not doing any more interviews. That's it. I'm not even going on with my buddy Steve Dumick in Tampa. I'm blowing him off too. Now I'm going to start blowing off interviews. I'm going to have a posse around me and say, sorry, you're not a big enough station to be on. I'm only doing the top 10 markets.
And it's funny. You're on a college radio station right now. What top 10 market are you talking about?
Philly, baby. Temple. Temple U.
What do you got coming up on the podcast?
We're going to do on Sunday. I'm actually hosting. You want to talk about how big I am in the Bay Area? I got a guy contacted me who wants me to host a Super Bowl party.
Wow.
Yes. I'm hosting my very first.
Because
it's in San Jose at the Glass House. It's this beautiful complex down in San Jose, California. 12,000 square feet. It's an amazing place, and they're going to have Playmates, Mars Vodka Girls. They're going to have leather and lace. Because all these parties, you know this, these athletes show up and they take a check and they show up at a party. And then
take 5 pictures and leave.
And they blow up. They're sitting behind the velvet ropes and some schmo's paying $100 to get in to go see them. And then they go in and they don't even want to take a picture or go on. I'll be kissing babies, slapping backs. We're going to do a 2-hour pregame podcast.
Pope Bruno, you went from the king
Tim
to a
Tebow's
Pope.
in the house walking through here.
I actually met him earlier.
Good guy. Do we genuflect when he walks by? I don't know what to do. Do we bow?
I guess we got a Tebow. We got to get down on one knee.
Do we Tebow?
Ready? You want to try to get his attention real quickly, Tony?
Yeah, let me genuflect. Tim Tebow, and now all the women are running.
Yeah.
Although he wants nothing to do with them, I understand. He's saving himself for marriage, just like I am. I'm saving myself for my second marriage.
Tony, it's great to see you. You're a mouthful. Thanks so much for coming by.
Go Temple.
Right. There's Tony Bruno live from Radio Row. We'll take a quick break and be right back.